Hello friends, it's Nicole with a cherry on top. Today I am creating a layout using the Kaleidoscope collection by 49 to Market. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. But anyway, I have a layout that I wanted to make using the big washi tape that came with the collection. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to use it for, but I am going to share with you a fun way to use it. So the first thing I did was I cut the papers down to 8.5 by 11 and 1 by 7.5 by 10 inch to create a nice border, and you'll see how that comes along. But I'm going to use the washi as a really thick piece for the center, just to make it pop, because I didn't want to just use pieces of it. I really wanted it to be across the middle of the layout and kind of work around it. And then I used a little small lime washi tape to kind of break up the pattern a bit, because otherwise I felt like it was just getting lost on the center of that. So the lime stripe really helps make that design pop. And so I'm taping that back so that it doesn't come off. Just be careful with the fabric washi tape, because it is easy to come off. Like if you peel it just even a little bit, it will just come right off. So I am going to fix that. So I just tape it, add some adhesive strips on that washi in the back just to keep it down so it doesn't get loose on the layout. And so once I have that, I'm going to just place it to the center. And look how pretty it looks with the paisley border with the washi. I just love it so much. So I'm using a selfie picture that I took of my sister and I a few years ago. I love this picture, and I just wanted to use it on the layout. And to begin, I'm just going to go through the laser cut dies and pull the ones out that I think I might want to use. I love frames, and so I do want to use some of the frame dies to frame the picture, which I printed at 3.5 by 3.5 inch. So it's not too big. It's a perfect size for this. And then I'm just going through and just pulling random die cuts that I think I might use. I may not use all of them, but it just saves me some time, so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth between the die cuts. I especially love the little butterfly and the little button, so I'm going to glue that down there because I do know I'm going to use it. And so now I'm trying to place the frames down to get an idea of how I want the design to look. And I don't want to cover up too much of that washi, so I'm trying to keep all the embellishments on one side of the layout. And so I'm trying to line up everything. I don't want it to look sloppy. I kind of want everything to look neat and clean. So when I place down these dolly frames, I'm making sure that it lines up with the strip at the bottom there. And next I'm just going to glue down the frames. And I am going to use some foam squares to pop up this frame a little bit. That way the layout isn't too flat. I do like using foam squares. They're perfect for adding dimension to your projects. And then I'm going to place that right there. And just be careful when you start mounting these down. Make sure you have them where you want them to be, because once it's down, it's down. And really, this layout is so simple. I know it looks more complicated in the main picture, but it's just building layers, and this is what I like to do. So I'm just adding one layer at a time, tucking in embellishments here and there to see if they look right. That's really all I'm doing. And then once I'm happy with the cluster, I'm going to go ahead and mount the photo down. And that butterfly is so pretty. I just love it. Alright, so I just move embellishments around just to figure out where I want to put it. And then I'm going to add this one there with the foam square just to pop it up a little bit, because I don't want it to be flat. And then just kind of move the ends, the wings up a little bit too, to add dimension. I like the little bow, so I'm going to tuck that in the corner there. And another button. Those buttons are so cute. It has such a nice vintage vibe to this, but it's not vintage. It's, if that makes any sense. The colors are so bright and vibrant. I just love it so much. So now I'm taking some greenery and tucking it behind the frames just to try and add some more layers so it doesn't look too flat. And I love the little tickets there. I was trying to figure out a fun way to use that, and I just decided to use it as a border at the bottom there. And then I'm going to go through, and I love the butterfly, so I don't have too many left because I did use this collection a lot. But now I'm just going through and adding some more flowers and greenery in, tucking it behind the photos to try and just add some more layers to it, to really try and make that washi in the background pop. And the colors are just pretty. Okay, so once I'm okay with that, and as you see, I cut that in half, that flower, because when you're tucking these flowers behind frame, you don't need to hide all that. Just cut it in half, stretch your supplies, make it work for you. And then I'm using the other part to the left side there. I mean, that's the great thing about die cuts, is you can cut pieces of them and make them spread out throughout the layout. That flower is so pretty. And I'm just adding some more butterflies, and I bent this butterfly so the wings would pop up off the little flower, the leaf there. It just gives it some dimension. And I really like this little circle sentiment, but I just couldn't figure out where to put it without it seeming like it just felt out of place. So I decided to use a chipboard sentiment instead. It's super easy. Like I said, I'm just building layers here. And then I'm gonna look through and find some small embellishments. I really like the blue grapes, or the berries, and I was trying to get them on there, but it just didn't work out. So now I'm looking for other flowers that I can use on the layout to kind of break up all the green, because I feel like I need to add some more flowers in there to make it pop a little bit. And so I'm going to cut that stem off and tuck that right up there on the left side. Like that. And that's great. And I like to use the glue because the glue doesn't dry quick. So you have a little bit of time if you need to move it around. Whereas if you use adhesive strips, once you put it down, it's done. I'm going to include some journaling. The lines are a little bit longer than I wanted because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to write. But I think I'm going to go back and actually write something else in there because I don't like that long line just sitting there. But I don't have to do that right now. And so I'm going to use a chipboard heart with the little berries that I tried to use earlier and just put that at the bottom of the journaling to try and fill in some of the white space. And that's great. That's perfect. And then, of course, at the top, it just looks so plain. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to add like a big title across the top or just add a little small cluster of embellishments so that I can try and pull that up. It just looks too plain to me. I can fuss all day on these layouts, seriously. So in the end, I decided to cut this flower, and I'm going to play with it at the top there and figure out what to do with it. And then I'm going to use the banner, chipboard banner, with the tiny butterfly, and I think that's going to be perfect. And there it is. I love it so much. What do you think? Beautiful, isn't it? Thank you for visiting today, and I hope you were inspired by this.